Hello guys, on this occasion, we're gonna present our topics about reduced clauses. But before we go to the topics, let me introduce our group members. There are Aiko, Dimas, Clara, Rahadian, Nicholas, Kenny, and also me, Arsha. So, what is the definition of reduced clauses? Reduced relative clauses refer to the shortening of a relative clause which modifies the subject of a sentence. Reduced relative clauses modify the subject and not the object of a sentence. And there are two types of reduced clauses. The first one is reduced adjective clauses, and second is reduced adverbial clause. But I won't tell the details about both of it. It will be explained by the authors.
Okay, I will explain the definition of a reduced adjective clause. Reduced adjective clauses are the shortened version of an adjective clause that modifies the subject of a sentence. Reduced adjective clauses can only modify the subject of a sentence. It cannot modify the object of the sentence. We can reduce a sentence when the sentence has the same subject on the main clause and adjective clause. Then, the reduced adjective clause becomes an adjective phrase which does not have a subject. Otherwise, the adjective phrase has a verb which present participle, verb plus ing for the active voice, or past participle for the passive voice. For example, I have one sentence which is active voice. It states, the woman who works at the bookstore lives in Kyoto. The result of the reduction is, the woman working at the bookstore lives in Kyoto. About how we can reduce a sentence and more of the examples, my friends will explain about it.
Okay, next I will explain about how to reduce an adjective clauses. When reducing an adjective clauses, we need to remember one simple rule. That is, do not reduce an adjective clauses which use object-relative pronouns. Instead, adjective clauses using subject pronouns can be reduced. There are three situations for reducing an adjective clauses. The first one is adjective clauses using the be verb. In this situation, we simply omit the connector and the be verb to reduce it. For example, the man who is carrying the ball is my friend. We omit the connector and the be verb from the sentence to reduce the adjective clauses. In this case, we omit the word who is. The reduced adjective clauses for this sentence is, the man carrying the ball is my friend. The second one is adjective clauses using an active voice regular verb. In this situation, we omit the connector and change the verb to the present participle form. Example, the student who helped you study last night is my neighbor. We omit the connector and change the verb from the underlined word. The reduced adjective clause from the example is, the student helping you study last night is my neighbor. The third one is adjective clauses using a passive voice be plus past participle form. For this situation, we omit both the connector and the be verb. For example, the grammar book which is located on the table includes 3 chapters. We then omit the connector and the be verb, which is the underlined word. The reduced adjective clause for this example is, the grammar book located on the table includes 3 chapters.
So, here I will show you the difference between adjective clause and reduced adjective clause. Here are the examples. We have 3 examples on these sections. First, in adjective clause, the girl who is standing by the table is my sister. In a reduced adjective clause, from the sentence is the girl standing by the table is my sister. The second example, in adjective clause, people who live in large cities have many resources. And the reduced adjective clause from the sentence is people living in large cities have many resources. The last example is the watch was found in the lobby belongs to Lily. And the reduced adjective clause from the sentence is the watch found in the lobby belongs to Lily. Now, let's continue our materials. The second type of reduced clause is reduced adverb clause. What's the meaning of reduced adverb clause? Reduced adverb clause is an adverb clause that has been shortened to a phrase, usually by omitting its subjects and a form of be. In conventional usage, an adverb clause can be reduced to a phrase only when the subject of the adverb clause is the same as the subject of the independent clause. Reduced adverb clause can be applied in all types of adverb clause, such as adverbial clause of times, adverbial clause of cause, and adverbial clause of contrast. The first is adverbial clause of times. There are 3 formulas for adverbial clause of time as written here. The points of reducing adverb clause is about removing the subject and change the verb into verb ing. Here are the examples. The first sentence is, after they sang the song, the performers did a dance. The adverb clause is after they sang 2 songs, so we can remove the subject and change the verb into the verb ing. So the reduced adverb clause from the sentence is, after singing 2 songs, the performer did a dance. The second example is, before he answered the phone, he grabbed a pencil and notepad. So the adverb clause from the sentence is before he answered the phone. So we can remove the subject and change the verb into the verb ing. The reduced adverb clause from the sentence is, before answering the phone, he grabbed a pencil and notepad. The next one is, as I was driving home, I saw my girlfriend crossing the street with a man. We can omit the adverb clause of time as, and we can remove the subject. So the reduced adverb clause from the sentence is, driving home, I saw my girlfriend crossing the street with a man. And the last one is, as soon as she arrived home, she collapsed on the sofa. We can change the adverb clause of time as soon as to response, and we have to remove the subjects, and also we change the verb into the verb ings. So the reduced adverb clause from the sentence is, upon arriving home, she collapsed on the sofa.
Okay. Hello, everyone. In this slide, we're gonna learn about the adverbial clause of cause and effects. So as you can see in the formula, we're gonna remove the conjunction of as, because, and since, and also the subject. And last but not least, we're gonna add the affix of ing to the verb. So in the example, because he didn't study hard, he failed the test. So in the shortened version, we're going to remove the because, the word because, and also the subject, because you can see any of them in the reduced version of the sentence and just add an ing to the verb. That's it. Not studying hard, he failed the test. Pretty easy. Okay, on to the next one. So there's actually two types of this adverbial clause of contrast. The other one will be explained after I'm finished with the one that you're looking at right now. So the difference between this and the previous adverbial clause is we're not going to remove the conjunction because this type of conjunction, which is although, though, and while, is the conjunction that explains the contrast that is in the sentence. So if you remove the conjunction out of the sentence, it could confuse the reader. Okay, so the reader could misunderstand the point that you're trying to say in a sentence. So in this formula, you can see we're just going to remove the subject and add an ing to the verb. An example, although he has 20 years of flight experience, he failed to land the plane properly. So in the reduced version, you can see that we simply remove the subject. There's no more he, and we add an ing to the verb. So instead of has, we have having. A little bit longer, but yeah, it's fine. So in here we have, although having 20 years of flight experience, he failed to land the plane properly. Okay, on to the next one. So this other type is actually more complex, which you can see it has a subject complement. So what is a subject complement? A subject complement is a word or phrase that help explain the previous subject, which is the main subject itself. So if you look at the sentence, I'm just going to remove the word they with the cars so it can make it more easy to understand. Although the cars are slow, so slow is the subject complement of cars, so it helps explain what the car's characteristics. So slow is the car's characteristics, which is the complement of the main subject, which is cars. Okay, I hope you can understand. So in this type, we're just gonna remove the main subject and remove the verb be from the sentence and just keep the subject complement in the sentence. So in the example, you can see, although they are slow, the cars have a pretty good fuel economy. So the reduced version is, although slow, you can see there's no more they and are in the reduced sentence. Although slow, the cars have a pretty good fuel economy. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple. It's easy to understand, and I hope you can understand the materials that I explained before. And let's move on to the next slide. Thank you.
Okay, so let's practice together. So you have to change the right adjective clause into an adjective phrase. Number 1, Mrs. Clara, who is worried about her sick daughter, can concentrate at work today. A, worried about her sick doctor. B, worrying about her sick daughter. Or C, having worried about her sick daughter. I'll give you 5 seconds to think about the correct answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me recall you 3 steps how to reduce an adjective clause. First, omit the relative pronoun who, that, which of the adjective clause. Second, omit the be form of the verb if there is one. Third, change the verb to its present participle form for the active voice, or leave it as the past participle for the passive voice. Sometimes after deleting be, there is no verb. So in this case, the correct answer is Mrs. Clara, worried about her sick daughter, can concentrate at work today. Number 2, Japanese is a written language that consists of 3 types of writing: kanji, hiragana, and katakana. A, which consists of 3 types of writing. B, consists of 3 types of writing. Or C, consisting of 3 types of writing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that consists of 3 types of writing is an adjective clause, and consists is an active voice. So we have to change consist into the present participle form. So the correct answer is Japanese is a written language consisting of three types of writing: kanji, hiragana, and katakana. Number 3, the clocks that were built last week were defective. A, that building last week. B, were built last week. Or C, built last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That were built last week is an adjective clause, and were built is passive voice. So the correct answer is the clocks built last week were defective.
Hello everyone, my name is Aikul Landari, and today I would like to give you examples about reduced adverbial clause. So first question, or first sentence we have, since I moved to Rochester, I have gone to the Philharmonic numerous times. There are three options of right reduced adverbial clause from this sentence. A, since moving to Rochester. B, since moved to Rochester. And C, since moved to Rochester. The correct answer is A. Since moving to Rochester, I have gone to the Philharmonic numerous times. Why? So first, we have to keep the type of word or since in the sentence. Second, we have to remove the subject or I. And third, we have to change the verb to the gerund form or noun. So we change from move to moving. The next sentence we have, as soon as we woke up, we got our fishing poles and went to the lake. There are also three options on this sentence. A, on woke up, B, on waking up, and C, on wake up. The right answer is B, on waking up, we got our fishing poles and went to the lake. Why? So first, we have to delete as soon as and replace it with a pound or o. It seems. And second, we have to remove the subject or we in the sentence. The third one, we have to change the verb to the gerund form or from woke up to waking up. The next sentence we have, since she was tired, she slept in late. And again, there are also three options on this sentence. A, being tired, B, was tired, and C, being tired. And the correct answer of the correct sentence is C, being tired, she slept in bed. Why? So we have to remove the subordinating conjunction or since, and also we have to remove the subject or she. And the third one, we have to change from verb to the gerund form or was tired to the being tired. The last example, the last sentence, though she was an excellent student, she failed to pass the test. A, though an excellent student. B, though she is an excellent student. Or she, though was an excellent student. The right answer is A. Though an excellent student, she failed to pass the test. Why? So different with the previous sentence, we have to keep the subordinating conjunction, but we also have to remove the subject and the verb be. In this sentence is she was. And the third one, we have to keep the noun. The noun or the adjective if we meet with verb with a same with previous example, we have to change the verb to the gerund form. because in this sentence is there is none, we have to keep that noun or an excellent student. So that's all from me. Thank you. Do you have any follow-up question for us?